No, I'm having network issues that. So let's move on since I'm not able to go ahead.
All right, no problem. Host. So next time, if you want to check, we'll just do a test run on the people on the panel, and they will check for you, just in case. Yeah. So basically, you started going to the Church of Latter-day Saints with your dad, correct, host?
Yeah.
And ever since then,
Dreamer, you're welcome.
Ever since then, you've not looked back, host, right?
No.
Was there at any point that you questioned or did you ever get a feel of the Anglican Church?
As a matter of fact, I went to an Anglican seminary school, even though I was a Mormon by that time. I went to an Anglican. Yes, since we use the King James version, that is the version we use. I went to an Anglican primary school. While I was in the Anglican primary school was when we joined the Mormon Church, and it didn't stop us from continuing, attending the seminary school. So I went to an Anglican seminary school till I did my junior WAEC, and then I went to a government college where I wrote my WAEC. I did my senior high school there.
Host,
so I have interacted with other religions. So go ahead, brother.
Okay, but host, will you say that what made you stick with the Latter-day Saints was something more personal than more objective, like something more personal to you than something actually objective?
Okay, so as a young boy growing up, my parents were not in Nigeria at a point, both of them. So we are 8 boys. But as of that time, we were not 8. As of that time, I was the last born. I was the last born for some years. No, it's not mosquito. It's something that came in with the banana. It's not mosquito. It's one tiny fly that came in with the banana. What happened was that I was living with my grandparents, my immediate elder brother. And my grandfather, during the Nigerian Civil War, he was not in Nigeria as well. He was outside the country. So after the Nigerian Civil War, he came back. And because he did not go through the challenges of that war, his wealth was still intact. So the people of his community wanted him to be their king. That was how he became a king, and he ruled them for 20 years. But my grandfather was a member of the Jehovah's Witness. And the Jehovah's Witness do not endorse their leader being a king, because Jesus Christ is the king that will rule. And now his people are asking him to lead them. That was why my grandfather joined the Anglican Church. Because of that. That is how our family became Anglicans. Because my grandfather, in order for him to take over leadership of his community, had to stop the Jehovah's Witness religion and join the Anglican Church, where eventually I was born into. Now, but all the literatures of the Jehovah's Witnesses were in his library. I'll come to you. Were in his library. So as a child, when I was able to read, I was reading not just book of Bible stories. Those ones were minor. Back then, the Watchtower or Awake used to be in hardcover, thick hardcover in a book form. So I used to take those books and read. I've always been someone that loved the things of God. In fact, my parents gave me a name. One day when I said it here, someone said, "You cannot translate a name." I said, the literal translation of my name means there is God. or God exists. That is the name my parents gave me. You know, so I have always been someone that loved the things of God. I've always been someone that wanted to know more about the things of God. So while we were in the Anglican church, I would ask a question and they would chastise me. I'll ask a question like, where did God come from? You know, I try to crack my head, break the code, go beyond what they say you shouldn't ask. And either they scold you or they because they don't have an answer, or they feel that you shouldn't ask those questions. As a child, that was when I developed the mindset that for every question that comes to the mind of a man, he deserves the answer. It is your right to get the answer. That was my mindset as a child. You know, that why will a question pop into your head and then someone will not tell you, don't ask such a question? Why? Why should you limit what man should seek or what man should know? So I developed that mindset as a child. So I knew that the Anglican faith had a limitation to what they could offer. And for every answer that I could not get anywhere, it is not their fault because they don't have it. It's not a matter of if they have it, they would have said it. Because for what people cannot answer, they now consider it as sacred, or don't go there, or don't ask. So in the Mormon religion, I got those answers and I was satisfied with that. And immediately, because my immediate elder brother and I were in the evangelical fellowship of the Anglican community. It's just like the Pentecostal department of the Anglican church, where we used to kabash and you know, do rascal things, you know. So when we left the dark mind, you coming after I am. When we left the Anglican church and joined the Mormon faith, the people that were with us, thank you for the gift, Isogelisa. The people that were with us there were not happy. So that was the first hit of being a Mormon. Started when I was 9. They now started telling me that I have joined a secret cult, that the Mormons are not Christians, that the Mormons are this, and they said all sorts of things. But what they were saying, though scary to me as a child, I didn't see. They are saying something else, and I am seeing something else. I am inside, they are outside. And someone outside is telling me what is inside without even coming in for one day. So many of them will condemn the Book of Mormon without even opening it for one day. But this is a child of 9 years old who have started reading that book, who have started going to that church. And then you condemn the church and the book without even knowing what is in it, just because someone said, and I tell them, but I am in it. What you're saying is not what I'm seeing. What you're saying is not what I'm witnessing. Everything here is different. So that while they were trying to reclaim me and oppose my beliefs, that was strengthening me, because they were not saying the truth. They couldn't verify these things. Mike, do you understand my point?
Understand your point perfectly well. So let me just reiterate what you said. You had questions. I can even relate to what you said. You had questions in earlier faith. They would clear you on how those questions were maybe out of bounds, and they questioned your questioning those questions, you know. And then the Latter-day Saints provided like good answers that appealed to you. And even after that, when you now chose to identify yourself with them, it now seemed like, how will I put it, you were now chastised for picking them. And that even now made you, in a way, also reinforce your picking them, you know, because it now made you see how other people could be when you now find something that, you know, you have chosen to go with. So it makes so much sense.
Yes, Mike, the easiest way for somebody to love you or for somebody to value you and appreciate you is when the person was fed with false information about you, and then the person actually comes to experience you, to encounter you. After that one-on-one, spending time with you, all the things that they claim, let's say they say your room, They don't know what you do in your room. Just like I stay in my apartment and I do my live program. My neighbors, I don't tell them this. I'm a streamer. They don't. I'm not interested in your conversation. I don't. Anybody can say anything. Maybe they hear me say, call Satan, call dark mind, call names that are strange. Iblis. You know how names that come to this show, and then they think maybe they say this man is an Satan worshipper. They don't even know what I do here. But maybe one day if they enter this room and they see microphone, they see ring light, they see the setup, then they'll say, oh, is that what you have been shouting here? And then whatever preconceived ideas they have will melt. So people will strengthen their appreciation of you when they come to know the truth against the lies that were spread against you.
I get that, host. I get that. So, yes, I think that's totally fine. From the way I see it, I've not really probed into. If I had enough time, we'll probably have like back and forth in what made things about the Latter-day Saints that questions that they answered that made more sense to you than others who chastised you for asking the questions or provided an answer.
I can tell you one.
You are not set to.
I can tell you one.
Just tell me only one. Yes, you can tell me one.
I can tell you just one. Remember that I said that when I was in the Anglican church as a child, when they are doing a bazaar, because Anglicans do what they call harvest. So you bring fruits and things and come and offer. Then after they will auction these things. So they will gather for bazaar. So and you sit in families as in, and then you're buying things. So I remember seeing such a thing. One, I wasn't comfortable with that. I remember that one of my grandfather's family friends, very close, they were also Catholics. And then when they are doing some procession, they will put a statue of Mary at the back of a pickup, and then they will be throwing flowers and then singing, and literally that's called worship. And then I'll ask the old lady, why are you doing this? Is this not idol worshiping? So I could, and these things I was doing was as a child. As a child, I was a very curious child. As a child, I was quick to observe. Now, at the Anglican church, one day during the bazaar, I looked up to heaven or to the sky, and I asked myself, this God that we are worshiping, what is his origin? Who made this God? How did this God come to be? God created me. I asked myself that question. I had the effrontery to go and ask. And they told me, you don't ask such questions here. In fact, they even see that it is the devil that is possessing me, giving me inspiration. But look at me as a child. It's not as if I've committed fornication. It's not as if I have stolen.
Me too. They did that to me too. Sorry to interject. They did that to me too.
It's not as if I bear false witness. I come from a family that my grandparents had so many servants. So many servants. So you won't understand, but the family I come from, in our community, they are big. So even if you come to our village for funeral, you say, which family is this? Because if you see a big family, you will know. It's not because their compound is big. It's because you see so many mansions in the compound, from my grandfather's house to his son's houses. As a matter of fact, it is my own generation that are refusing to build, because there are so many houses that nobody is living in it. Squirrels are everywhere. So what are you building for? My immediate other brother is building his house. He's building it in the town, in the city. He said, what are you building house in the village for? It's because there are so many houses that are there lying, doing nothing. So for me as an Igbo man, the mentality of building a house in the village to me is waste of investment. But for an outsider who comes, just like now, politics is around the corner, they respect the family. Things like that, because we have produced a commissioner, just like that. So the thing is, there is no reason for me to be possessed with an evil spirit. I was asking a question that came to my head, and they didn't answer. Now, in the Mormon church, the answer was there, very easy, and it made sense to me that we are children of God, and that we come from his family. And that God also comes from a family, and that the way God is, we can become like him, and that it is just like the earthly family system, you know, and it continues like that. So I got my answer there and I was satisfied. Mike, I am his raising hand. I know that we're almost through with the time, but I'll see what I can
Yeah.
do.
Also, I just want to round up and say something. So
Relax now, no let you day.
now let me there,
We
brother.
plenty for queue. Continue.
Make I enjoy my host. So, host, I mean, what you're saying, I totally agree with that, you know, but they will tell you that it brings about something called infinite regress, you know, and they always refuse to accept this, that at some point there must surely be a terminator. But I'm totally fine with this, your way of viewing things. Thank you very much, host.
Yeah, at least we have gone beyond a point. We have gone beyond a point. The ones that we don't know now can be revealed later. It's just like if you ask your father, what is the name of his father? Your father being alive will tell you this is the name of his father. He can tell you up to his grandfather perhaps. And then there will be a missing point when he is not able to produce the name of his great-grandfather. Why? Because that genealogy was not kept. It was not written. You see the missing link. Now, what it means is that any day we see that ancestor that is missing, you ask him, where is the others? He will mention. For now, the Mormons have told me how God came to be God. If we want to keep tracing, the day we now get to the heavenly genealogy, we will ask. At least I have gone beyond where others stopped, and others don't want to go beyond because to them it is a taboo. To me, it's no big deal. Let me get back to you.
Host, hey, I thought, pardon. My first question is loaded, sir. Okay. So, we are in the presence of a prince.
We're in the presence of what?
A prince. You are.
Oh, read that one.
No, we are, from what you're saying. So, your grandfather, who was a king, because of the part of Christianity he was in, they wouldn't allow him to carry on his lineage. So he switched the type of Christianity he was in. After he switched that type of Christianity, I want to know, did the kingdom stop with him? Or is somebody in your family still carries on that with that lineage, with that legacy?
Very good question. My dad was someone that they wanted him to be a king. My father refused. Even my community wants me to lead. You know, just yesterday, if I play a recording, Vicky will understand. You know, when I was in my community, remember I said it that during the Peter Obi election, I traveled to my community because politics is local. You know, we have been shouting on the internet, welcome submission, we want a new Nigeria. So I knew that I have to go to my community and, you know, do the needful to show that truly we want a new Nigeria. At that time, my aunt was commissioner for housing and urban development with Hope in his first administration, the first 4 years. She was a sitting commissioner and the apex leader of APC in my local government. Now, when I came to participate in politics, my people, even the Labour Party, saw the difference in my behavior and they made me a leader. Whatever they call it, I don't know, but I was doing my thing my own way. I was serving my people. And while I was there, that was how I now took it upon myself to raise and take care of those 18 children that are now my responsibility. So being in my community changed me because I told my immediate elder brother, I said, after studying anything you have studied in life in the university, go home and serve your people. Go to your community and serve your people. They need that education. Your education is not for you alone or for the city where you make a living from it. Your community needs it. Just yesterday, someone sent me a message from my community crying that they want me back, as in, because I am done and I have left. But I knew that I did my best for them and put them on a good trajectory, and they are benefiting from the things that I did there. And I said I will come back in future and serve you guys again, but now I am busy. You know, so yes.
What I want to
So we are not interested. My family is not interested in being a king, anything. We don't want it. Even though the community wants that, but we are too simple. We don't. Even the king wants me to come and be a chief. I say I'm not interested. My father is a chief. My mother is a chief, but I don't like title. Just call me my name. I'm okay with that. So my mindset towards that kind of thing. I don't like. But yeah. Yes.
And that God bestowing that on you, and that God giving you a responsibility, because again, your family, not that you did personally, but you asked question and the question matched your curiosity, so you stayed where you were already, right? But your family, God bestow what we will call a kingdom on them, and you decided to. Although you are working in a kingdom, I'm not saying no, you are working.
It wasn't God that made my grandfather a king. It was this community that wanted him to serve.
But
and he served them for 20 years.
From your point of view, from the Christian point of view, when you have this kind of responsibility, it's a God's blessing. It's a blessing coming from God.
Yeah, that is right. The scriptures confirm that kings are God. That is correct.
Voila. So if you are from the lineage of kings and you claim you don't want to be a chief or something, you don't want the title, is that not you rejecting a responsibility from God and creating your own responsibility within the kingdom? Is it because you cannot handle it, or is it because you change religion and the religion are telling you something else?
No. It's not because I changed religion. I am. Let me tell you. The Bible said that kings are made by God. It didn't say kings to be are made by God. What it means is that after you have accepted King Hezekiah, welcome back, brother. What it means is that after you have accepted to be a king, then you are made by God. That's.
They're trying to give you different titles. Come on, sir. Come on. God even tried to call you many times. Come and serve these people.
But then, my father has been the chairman of the community, serving his people in one capacity. I have also served as chairman of the youths, in that capacity, which literally means that I was serving my people as well. The most important thing is service. Whether you serve in the capacity of a king or in the capacity of a chairman, whatever you do, serve. Service is important. It requires humility to serve. And, my people were impressed with what they saw. Smoking, you're welcome, my brother. What they saw while I was with them. And they knew that this man served them diligently. This man served them selflessly. They could testify that. Because while I was with them, I don't need to come and narrate these things here, but they were very, very happy. And they wanted more. But I can't offer more than what I have done, because there is a time for everything. Sometimes I told them in the village that the village is the next place after the village is cemetery. Because in the village there's no electricity. In the village so many things are missing. Host, bring one of the people here and make a question. Let me pee. Let me ease myself. I'm coming back. A moment.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa, for coming. No.
What is happening, women?
He's recording.
What
do women do for this thing?
What do women do? This is your tongue. Who would want to ease himself? Wow.
Because this is my second turn now. Wow, today we get the chance to. But it seems calm down. We cannot ask question to host the way we ask you people. You una question. We cannot do that now. Is
My own
our
question is that how Os was feeling when the likes of the saints, the kingdoms, the likes of the confident James, the likes of the tiger, at his own time, when they were trying to bully him about the gospel, how was he taking it? The trauma. God, we have so many Christians, so
you are bad.
I want to understand that.
To ask if they consider him a heretic,